The reality is the crypto market has been moving sideways and kind of sideways downwards for a little while now. Bitcoin, of course, was below $60,000. It's now sitting currently at $61,000 as I record and has been ranging from around there to maybe 64 or so at the higher end. And so effectively the market is stagnant. It's not doing anything really exciting one way or the other. However, it should be noted that the smart money is using this opportunity, and as per usual, right on cue, whales are busy. They're taking advantage of this opportunity. So what exactly do they know that we don't know? Fortunately, in crypto, there are so many forensic tools that we can use to assess the activity of smart money, of big players, aka crypto whales, and we can get a little bit more information as to what exactly they're trying to accomplish. We're going to take a look and examine in fine detail all of the whale activity that is worth knowing about in this video. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck to you if you choose to invest. Right now, things, like I said, are kind of stagnant, moving sideways. If you want to action some of this information, then I do wish you well. But if that's the case, just be sure to remember that I'm not a financial or investment advisor. And so, of course, and by extension, this video is not official financial or investment advice. Okay, so there is some very important whale activity that we want to cover here. And as usual, we're going to go through this in terms of metrics, in terms of publicly available data. And the first thing that we noticed as a major signal was that there's a $1.3 billion deposit to Coinbase. This happened on the 25th of April. It took a total of 5 transactions actually to complete this transfer. And of course, this indicates a pretty massive buying opportunity. With these kinds of numbers, we're also looking at BTC, of course, and ETH. It's most likely that the whale in question here is looking at buying either one of those, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, because, of course, as we know and as we've been covering lately, whales have certainly been eyeing both BTC and ETH. These two coins right now still seem to be the most popular choices among whales. Let's take a look at why that is and what exactly happened here. Listen up if you're watching this as an American, because I'm talking to you. Because we've actually found an exchange that offers you the best of both worlds. Want to trade spot markets on over 400 trading pairs and without KYC? Yeah? You can. Want to trade perpetuals markets on over 150 trading pairs with KYC that accepts Americans, by the way, Canadians too? Yeah, you can also do that. The only exchange we've seen in the market that lets you do both simple spot trading without KYC and perps trading with KYC that Americans can use is BuyDefi. And along with the great fees and almost no slippage on trade orders, you also get up to $8,698 in bonuses just for trying BuyDefi. And then in addition, you also get our flagship Altcoin Buzz Alpha service totally free for 1 month. And you can check out BuyDefi today by clicking the link in either the description of this video or the pinned comment below. So as I already mentioned, Bitcoin has been running sideways / kind of sideways downwards for the last little while here. We're looking at the last 3 months. It reached, of course, a new all-time high of $73,737. That was in mid-March. But really since mid-April, if you look at the chart here, BTC has moved between 67 and 60K, even below 60K. We're now back up above 60K, but it's not looking particularly strong. And as always, Bitcoin really sets the trend in terms of the tone of the market, the strength, the sentiment of the market, and altcoins follow. And so consequently, based on this performance, BTC's performance, altcoins have taken quite a beating. But in the meantime, interest for Bitcoin has actually remained pretty steady. We first saw the approval, of course, of the Bitcoin spot ETFs by the SEC. And this actually started out kind of slow, but after a few weeks, we saw the funds really starting to accumulate BTC. This slowed down quite a bit, but there's still new inflow into most of these BTC spot ETFs. Sentiment data actually shows us that BTC whales have been accumulating since the very beginning of the year, likely in anticipation of those ETFs that were approved. Holders of 1,000 to 10,000 BTC didn't stop buying throughout the year so far in 2024. As of late April, they added an extra 226 BTC to their wallets. That, by the way, is 1.24% of Bitcoin's total supply. And just to clarify and maybe explain a little better this group of whales here so we're all on the same page, these are effectively holders who have $65 million to $650 million worth of Bitcoin. So these are pretty large fish. I think that's safe to say. But then they're even stronger and bigger as a group because collectively they hold 25% of all available BTC. Let's try to put that in perspective. Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy holds 174,530 Bitcoin. That is 0.831% of the total supply. So that is a lot, but if you think about it, it's not even 1%. This group of whales holds 25% of all available Bitcoin. And if you look at Bitcoin as a store of value, there's really almost never a bad time to buy. Yes, of course, the price can go lower and you may get in at a lower dollar value, but as a percentage of the available supply, it's always good to hold BTC. And that's because in 10 years' time, in 15, 20, 50 years' time, nobody's going to care if you bought Bitcoin at $60,000 or $30,000 or $70,000 or $80,000. Long-term price predictions here for the year 2033, as you can see, range from $500,000 to $1 million. So there are plenty of indicators showing that Bitcoin's popularity is still intact. Whales are on the ball. They're taking advantage of this opportunity. And no surprise, they continue to accumulate. Okay, next up here is Ethereum. And in March, Ethereum went over $4,000, which was nice. However, it also dropped back to $3,500 again. Now it's under $3,000. And it's actually a pretty good example of an altcoin, which, as I mentioned earlier, is taking a proportionally stronger beating than BTC during these last few months. We're looking here at the last 3 months of ETH performance. There is, however, a reason why ETH is remaining in the spotlight, and that is, of course, because of the potential for an upcoming ETH spot ETF, the equivalent for ETH as what we saw with Bitcoin. And when looking at the list of applicants here, we're seeing the usual suspects all over again. So, for example, BlackRock, VanEck, ARK21 Shares, Grayscale, Fidelity, Invesco. We also have Galaxy Digital and Franklin Templeton. Now, some of these names have already applied for and received Bitcoin spot ETFs. Like the BTC spot ETFs, the Ethereum variation is going to make ETH more accessible to investors kind of outside of the crypto realm. And with this kind of an ETF, institutions and retail don't have to worry about crypto exchanges, wallets, security. And according to reports, the SEC should come out with their verdict sometime around late May, so a few weeks from now. And this is expected to add a lot of what is really much needed regulatory clarity. Because, of course, the SEC still hasn't been clear as to whether ETH is a security or not. So, providing that the spot ETF gets the go-ahead, we can reasonably expect a strong price surge for ETH. Just like when Bitcoin saw its new all-time high after the SEC approved BTC spot ETFs. Now, whales, of course, are in the business of anticipating markets, and correspondingly, some of them are already betting on a positive verdict by the SEC when it comes to the ETH spot ETF. The numbers show us that they've already started buying ETH. For example, during late April, we saw all kinds of moves resulting in the accumulation of $57 million worth of ETH. Here we're looking at 3 withdrawals, all of which happened on Binance. So we can see a growing excitement here for Ethereum. The ETH spot ETFs are going to play a major role in that excitement going forward. And whales are already positioning themselves. They're already pretty excited about the potential here. So unless there's another macro event, something unexpected, a black swan event, I would expect ETH to remain pretty stable for the time being. More sideways action for now, unfortunately. But then we can probably expect a pretty positive price impulse when BTC moves up, or, again, when the SEC approves those ETH spot ETFs. Let me know if you have BTC or ETH in your portfolio. I certainly hope that you do, because that's Portfolio Allocation 101. I also want to mention here Tether, ticker TRB. This is a decentralized Oracle network. Tether is enjoying pretty massive growth at the moment. Its market cap has actually doubled recently, reaching a pretty impressive figure, $343 million. So we focused on Bitcoin. We have focused on Ethereum. I just want to highlight here that for a much smaller project in comparison, it's still sizable, but much smaller, of course, than Bitcoin and Ethereum. This one's getting a lot of whale activity as well. Sentiment data has revealed a pretty massive spike in whale activity, specifically around TRB. And there's been an increase in both transactions via wallets and just general activity. So just wanted to mention that as a bit of an appendix here to the video. It's something that if you're looking at Tether or if you've considered TRB, maybe it's already in your portfolio, just something you should know about.